Okay, yes, we are back. Married at First Sight Australia fans, we have yet another episode to talk about. First, we have Claire coming clean with her dad. We also have Taylor getting a taste of her own medicine. And the divide between Sandy and Dan grows as the pressure is on during the Friends and Family Week. Welcome back to Romance Review TV. It's Lady T, and I got another recap for you guys. Married at First Sight Australia, Season 10, Episode number 18. And without any further ado, let's talk about this episode. So, as we remember, Dan told Sandy that he is not attracted to her at that last commitment ceremony. Sandy woke up with a whole new pep in her step. The two have consummated their relationship, and yes, it's a confusing step forward considering Dan's lack of sexual chemistry with Sandy. And Sandy says she was shocked. She was confused. She said, don't get her wrong. But she, and I know the rest of us, hope it's a step in the right direction. So let's talk about Claire and Jesse. So we all know Jesse wrote leave at the last commitment ceremony, and it's safe to say he is not happy to have to play family with Claire's dad, Lee. Now, he's feeling pretty grumpy about the fact of Claire choosing to stay when he made it clear he wanted to go home. So, he does not want to be placed here for another week, especially when he just don't want to be. And he has no desire to work on his and Claire's relationship at all. Jesse deals with that emotion, I guess, in his best possible way. He put on this whole black devil mask and a Satan shirt because he's about to meet her father.
I kissed another one of the husbands here on a night out. Not proud of my actions at all, so...
I want you to get shocked because it's not you, that's the thing. And you told Jess, or did Jess and someone else?
I came forward and I told Jesse.
Well, I'm glad you did that you owned up to it. How do you feel about that, Jess?
Yeah, pretty hurt.
Probably like what I am at the moment, a little bit hurt.
Yeah, I didn't come back into this room since, so I've had I don't know how many days in my own place, and yeah, I think the first week was pretty rough.
What I've done is a massive disappointment. Everyone wants their parents to say, I love who you are, I see who you are, I'm in your corner, I'm backing you, not you're a disappointment or I'm really upset with you.
Give me your hand. Jan, give me your hand. Life is ups and down. I've experienced a lot of it. There's things we can get over and things that we can't get over. But it's up to us. We have that decision to make, yeah? I can't tell you what to do. I'm hurt. Look at me.
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
I'm hurt. For both of you. I mean, you're married. If you can find it in your souls, if you can reach deep down in your heart and just have it out, talk it out, and move on from it, don't get in that pattern of just giving up too easy. Whatever happens here, really fight for it, because that's what it's about. This is real.
Yeah.
This is real.
I didn't expect to see this side of my dad. It shows me how much he cares, and I guess it just reiterates how disappointed I am in myself, but also how to move on from this and how important it is to really try. And I'm really taking this wisdom significantly. It's not going over my head, that's for sure.
However, Jesse says that he had a much better time than he expected, but that leaves him fighting between his head and his heart. He also went on to say how he really don't like the place that he's in because he know that Claire's dad is coming from a really good place, but he still feels that this kind of pressure that he needs to forgive at a rate that he don't think he's ready for, yeah, it's just not sitting well for him. And I can tell you, probably if it was the opposite, I don't think he would be forcing his daughter to forgive him. So next up in this episode is Evelyn and Rupert. Now, in an effort to start taking the lead, Rupert really wants to take this next relationship task seriously. However, unfortunately for Rupert, the task requires him to hug Evelyn for 3 minutes straight, and he's breaking into a whole sweat just reading the instruction card.
How are we gonna hug? We're standing.
No.
We just parking ourselves up on this bed.
What do you want to do? I'm really excited because this is definitely right up my alley. I love intimate connection. What's your favorite hug position?
My favorite hug position? Adult hug. I don't know.
What's an adult hug? However, when Rupert gets nervous, he uses terrible jokes. Deflection.
Adult hug that's just sex.
Oh.
Yeah.
Be serious, Rupert.
Sorry, yeah.
Getting to kind of understand and kind of ignore it because he has told me that he really wants to take charge and show me that he's ready for a marriage.
All right. Is that a spot? All right, ready?
Okay.
Set. We're on. Have you got your eyes closed or open? Yeah. What are you thinking about? Okay, I'll be silent.
Stop talking.
Okay.
Just enjoy the hug. We have a very strange dynamic. It has its good days and it has its bad days.
I can't joke.
But I think it could be heading in the right direction.
Oh, God.
I need a massage after that, I feel.
Hopefully I will just naturally come up to you and hug you and stuff like that because I like that, whereas I feel like I have been holding back.
Why have you been holding back?
It's just that fear. I think it's just that it comes down to that fear.
Okay, thank you.
Am I a good cuddler?
You are a very cuddler, Rupert.
Thank you. Did you put deodorant?
So yes, he made it through the full 3 minutes, and Evelyn thinks that it's a good sign for the two of them. She even said they have a very strange dynamic, and it has its good days, it has its bad days, but she thinks that they could be headed in the right direction. However, after having such a good evening, Rupert undid all of his good work and asked Evelyn if she put on deodorant that morning. And it was rather hopeful to all of us, that think that he could make it to 5 minutes without making things awkward. Come on, Rupert, just hang in there. She's hanging in there with you. So there's the other new couple in this experiment, Taylor and Hugo. And of course, just like all of the other couples before them, they had to do the photo ranking task. And it got off to a shocking start when Taylor doesn't even notice her husband's face in the lineup of photos. Ooh, that's not good. However, she did surprise him, making him first in the ranking because of the fact of his height. Hugo's height alone is enough to take him to the top of the list, and it was definitely a happy surprise to Hugo. On the flip side, Hugo, when he got to rank his wife, he put her second to last. He gave us some mercy, saying that there was no way he was going to put her last. But yeah, that move rocked Taylor to her core, and she wallowed on that lounge like she was nursing the worst hangover ever. She said it was absolutely horrible to be second to last. Now, Hugo admitted that it was a brutal call, but says that he was just trying to express his dissatisfaction satisfaction about their marriage. But Taylor, she don't like the taste of her own medicine. Also, we can't forget in this episode that they actually were on two different sides against the whole closet space.
I think it might be a little bit annoying living with Hugo. I mean, he's a bit of a man baby. It can be a little bit frustrating for me at times. I like everything a certain way, and then my reactions and my behaviours can be a little bit off-putting. Well, how much space do you need, do you think?
Probably about the same amount of space as you.
No, that's not right.
It's not right.
No, it's not, because I have way more stuff than you. All right, I'm going to have this side, and you could put in here as well.
Isn't that's just the internet cupboard though. There's nothing in there except like boxes and cables. I don't think that the way she's behaving is okay.
Do you need all that space?
Just like enough to hang like one shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably all I need, hey?
Okay.
Give her an inch and she'll take a mile, so I think there does need to be a change coming.
It looks like there's only enough room for your space.
It's not a case of it's time for Hugo to put his foot down. I think it's time for Taylor to grow up.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe up here. You're tall enough to reach that.
Yes, Hugo has just had enough of Taylor's antics at this point. It's almost like, girl, why are you here? Why are you here? Now, there is a video that I posted on my TikTok where he actually admitted that she's not as bad as she's being portrayed, but I don't think it's enough to take Hugo over the top where he feels that he's going to spend the next 50 years with her. And finally in this episode, Sandy and Dan. Now, as I mentioned earlier, they consummated their marriage. Well, he is currently missing. And we know at the commitment ceremony, he talked about having his 6-hour workout binges. Well, of course, Sandy is worried that Dan is regretting being intimate with her. And she said, look, I think if he pulls away, that's where she's scared that he'd think he made a mistake, which is her worst fear. However, as it is Friends and Family Week, we see the arrival of Dan's friend Georgia, and Sandy's sister Kieran cut this whole argument that they're about to have short over this whole disappearing act, and they try to put on a brave face for their guests. But it's not long before Sandy and Dan start airing out their problems to both Georgia and Kieran.
You know, there's no guarantees in life. The most important relationship that in this world is a relationship that you have with self. And people do come into your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. They allow people to do what they want, and they will do what they prefer.
So he's very... That's why when I was saying the whole, like, I don't know if I'm getting the real version of him, I struggled. So would you think that I just slept with him yesterday? He's been completely distant. He's barely touched me. Looked at me today. Do you feel like he's just not being real? I genuinely see that I could have a future with this person, but I don't think he can. Part of me thinks that he just wishes, like, I'm not good enough. Like, and I don't think he wants to say it. So, like, yeah, he's behind this lifestyle thing.
Damn. She means so well. But yeah, I'm not sure that you guys are compatible.
So there's been so much, right, of things that I've looked at and gone, it's an incompatibility. And the fact that Sandy is allergic to ocean water and can't go in it, I mean, that gives me anxiety, you know, more than anything. Like, what kind of a life is that? You know, when two people do things that they prefer to do independently, they come together and they amplify that together.
Totally.
Right? It's like, I don't want to, like, you know, drag someone along. Like, I'm not looking for a passenger in life, I'm looking for a co-pilot. Someone that can sit in the seat with me that already knows how to fly the plane.
You know, you're going into a relationship, and the most important thing about stepping into a healthy relationship is being a whole human. Like, you are in a position where you have worked so hard to get to where you're at. You're not going to settle because you don't need it.
Yeah.
You are very unique, and I think, you know, just remember to honour exactly who you are to your core.
Yeah. Having Georgia here, confirm everything that I've been acknowledging. It's such a beautiful and refreshing conversation to have with you, G, because you get me.
I do.
You do, you really do. I mean, the kind of relationship and a dynamic that I have with Georgia, right? That's a really important energy that I'm actually looking for in a relationship.
You didn't work this hard, or you didn't come this far to only come this far. Like, someone who's deserving of you will accept you in your wholeness.
The only thing that really matters is the right here, right now. It's the only thing that exists. Does the compatibility work now? And that is the bedrock.
So now, with their guests gone, Sandy and Dan reflect on all that's been said. However, the two of them get into it all over again over the matter of having different interests, with Sandy still not understanding why what they each do in their me time is such a big deal to Dan. Sandy tried to get a word in edgewise, but she wasn't successful. She wanted Dan to stop talking over her. Dan, of course, interrupts in the middle of Sandy's sentence. Then the voices get raised. They're still talking over each other. But then a very calm Sandy thinks that it's more a matter of Dan not liking what he's hearing. Now, also stay tuned, because I have some background information on this whole argument and situation between Dan and Sandy. So, I like to keep you guys updated with anything that goes on behind the scene as well. So stay tuned for that video. Okay, so let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. What do you think about the beginnings of our Friends and Family Week, especially with what happened between Sandy and Dan? What about our two newest couples? And then what do you think about Jesse? Can he turn this around after talking to Claire's dad? So I hope you enjoyed this recap. Stay tuned for other recaps on this channel. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.